Yes, sir. What's up, y'all? It is your favorite, maybe even most hated, reactor in these YouTube streets, man. Thoughts of a predicate winner. And I just brought you some of the illest, dopest, grimiest hip-hop that you've heard in years with my last reaction with that Clips, man. Y'all give it up for Clips one time, even though that has nothing to do with this video. I say all that to say, now I'm fixing to bring you some country tunes. And I have really grown to enjoy reacting to country music. Whether I like it or not, whether it's something I find replayable or not, I actually like reacting to it to check out the talent levels, to check out the lyricism, to check out the story writing. It's all been really fun, man. It's been great. So I'm excited to get into this. This is, despite the fact that I don't even listen to a lot of country or like a lot of country or relate to a lot of country, I love Chris Stapleton. And shout out to my page manager, Jody. Jody, what's up? She sent me this yesterday. We were supposed to get to it yesterday. This is a Chris Stapleton joint called If It Hadn't Been for Love. In real talk, if it hadn't been for love, man, it wouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? I can pretty much sum that all up into one. If it hadn't been for love, it wouldn't be. If it hadn't been for love, it hadn't. I'm excited to do it, man. Let's do it. But before we do it, please make sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button for me, and you can help propel me into that algorithm just by doing those two things, man. Unfortunately, there's still about 38% of y'all. We've left the 40s, thankfully, but unfortunately, there's still about 38% of y'all that continue to come back, watch these videos, and don't hit that like button and don't subscribe for whatever reason. And I hope that this can be the day that I earn it from you. Y'all ready? Let's do it, man. Chris Stapleton, the Steel Drivers. Hey.
Never would have hitchhiked to Birmingham if it hadn't been for love. Never would have called the train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have run through the blinding rain without $1 to my name if it hadn't been for love.
That's facts.
Never would have seen the trouble that I'm in if it hadn't been for love. Would have been gone like a wayward wind if it hadn't been for love. Nobody knows it better than me. I wouldn't be wishing I was free if it hadn't been for love.
That part right there is kind of deep. Nobody knows it better than me. I wouldn't be wishing I was free if it hadn't been for love. I wouldn't be wishing I was free. Nobody knows it better than me. I wouldn't be wishing I was free if it hadn't been for love. I like this, man, because it really is. If it hadn't been for love, like I said in the beginning, in a joking manner, it wouldn't be. You know what I mean? Nothing would be. You would have no motivation. You would have no, there wouldn't be any reason to better yourself. There would be no reason to try, right? If it wasn't for love. So I think that it's dope right here how he's saying, I wouldn't even be wishing that I was free. Like, what would be the point if it hadn't been for love? Very good, man. This is good writing.
For love. The cold walls against my will. At least I know she's alive and still. The cold walls without parole. Lord have mercy on my soul.
Yeah, this is good. I like this, bro. Did he say, real quick, 4 cold walls against my soul, bro? 4 cold walls against my will. At least I know she's lying still. Not lying like lying down. I'm assuming lying like telling a lie. 4 cold walls against my will. This is deep. This is deeper than I was expecting it to be. 4 cold walls against my will. That's jail. That's prison. That's being locked up. That's being in a cage. That's being imprisoned to or enslaved to a mindset, or maybe even literally being enslaved. At least I know she's lying still. Oh, no. At least I know she's lying still. Like she's cool. I can have the worst done to me, but I know that my baby is okay. So if it hadn't been for love, it wouldn't be. This is dope, man. This is really good. Four cold walls without parole. Lord have mercy on my soul. All right, I'm locked in. Let's go. I'm following. Get him, Chris.
Never would have gone to that side of town if it hadn't been for love.
Facts.
Never would have took a mind to track her down if it hadn't been for love. Never would have loaded up a 44, put myself behind a jailhouse door if it hadn't been for love.
Yeah, he's about to wrap this story, bro. This is dope. I like this, man. I like where he's going. I like it.
Cold walls against my will. At least I know she's lying still. Four cold walls without parole. Lord have mercy on my soul.
Talk to me, dog. Let's go, Chris. I love it when the instruments talk to you too, man. I do. I love it when there's a story that's being told, and I love it when the instrumentation talks to you in the same tone as the story that's being told. And that's what's happening here. I love that. And you know what it takes to create that? Real musicians getting together with each other, discussing ideologies and discussing a blueprint to the song and laying a foundation and building on that foundation together. Not, hey, I played the banjo, I'm going to send it through an email over here to Chris and let Chris do a little bit of singing on it. Then he can send it back and we'll do a little bit of sampling and we'll bring it all together. And then I'm going to send it over here to get distributed and mastered. No. I love stuff like this because the foundation is being built upon by all of the artists. I love this. This is super dope. Not even trying to take it there, man. I'm not going to mention this in the title or anything, but Ryan Upchurch should take notes from this with his Dixielanders, because that's what was missing there. It didn't sound like it had that creative juice flowing based off of like, let's build this from the ground up together. It sounded more so like, I'm Ryan Upchurch, y'all are making really great music, and I'm just going to throw my words in there. You know what I mean? Which I didn't hate on that album. So I'm not trash talking it. It still sounded pretty cool in a few different places. The band themselves did an incredible job on that album. But this is what it sounds like when your soul is in tune with your heart, and your heart is in tune with the music, and the music is in tune with the lyrics, and the lyrics are in tune with you, and the relatability thread is there, and it pulls on your heartstrings. And I can't wait to hear what the rest of this story sounds like. Let's go!
Never would have hitchhiked to Birmingham if it hadn't been for love. Never would have called the train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love.
Come on.
Never would have loaded up a 44, put myself behind a jailhouse door if it hadn't been for love. If it hadn't been for love.
It's a cliffhanger.
If it hadn't been for love.
Yeah, dog. That was great. That's a cliffhanger, man. I wanted to know why you had to pull the 44 out. I wanted to know why did you end up behind that jailhouse. But I guess it leaves you all to assume, so it leaves the relatability thread open. So that if you've gone through anything even remotely similar to this, you can find a way to relate to it. So I respect the creativity there. I respect the grind to get people to feel it in their souls. I like that, and I still like the song, but I wish it wasn't such a cliffhanger because I want to know like what you did, bro. What your old lady made you do. But I love it overall. Like I guess what it is whether she ended up going on a hiatus on the relationship, leaving him for a little bit, ended up being around these other guys, and maybe this other guy was a lot eviler and worse off than originally thought out to be, and Chris ended up having to come and get her out of a situation that she had kind of driven herself into, which would leave a man to say, if I didn't love you, I would not be in this situation. But at least I know that she's lying still. At least I know that she's cool. At least I know that she's at peace, and at least I know that she's safe. So I think that might be what it was. At least that's how I took it. But it could have went a million different ways. And there's a lot of different scenarios that we can add up here, but that's the one that I'm going to roll with. What about you? How did you take it? Let me know in the comments. Let me know how this relates to you. And thank you guys for watching, man. I really like this one. This one was great. Every once in a while, I'll hit one of these country records, man. Jody puts me onto something dope, and it's something that I can resonate with, rock with, feel, and ultimately end up playing more and more of later. So this was hard. I like this one a lot, man. Shout out to Chris Stapleton. He's one of the GOATs. Probably the GOAT to me when it comes to voice. You know what I mean? His voice is just undeniable talent. And shout out to this band and being able to make it sound like y'all constructed this together. It sounds like y'all constructed this with this idea and put it together. The instrumentation sounds like it matched the pockets. I mean, it ain't hip hop, but the instrumentation sounds like it matches the tone of the song, the tenacity and the determination of Chris's lyrics to express like, I did this for you. I end up in this situation, but it doesn't matter because as long as I know that you're at peace, I'm cool. You know what I mean? But if it hadn't been for love, I wouldn't have been put in this situation. I wouldn't even been here. So this was hard. I like this a lot. Yeah, man. I love Chris Stapleton, bro. He's one of the GOATs to me. So I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for watching. Please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe button on your way out the door. And I will see you on the next one. Okay?